What's up, sober family? It's Alika. Welcome back to another episode of Recovery Talk, brought to you by Pro Recovery Power. I'm so excited for today's show. Today we got my friend Blair on, the infamous sobriety activist, and I'm so pumped for this one. Just a little couple of announcements. So, what's up, guys? What's up, Martin? The Pro Recovery Power website is up. You guys can go check that out to see what we're all about. It's not just about providing recovery clothing to the community for people in recovery, people out of recovery, people who support others that are in recovery or that are just sober. I use this platform. See me, I am in saving lives business in regards to drugs and alcohol. In 2019, 760,000 people in the United States died as a direct result to this disease of addiction. So me personally, I don't care if you struggle with an addiction and you no longer do. I don't care how you did it. 12-step program, God snapped his fingers, holistic, you went to the doctor, you did therapy, whatever. I don't care how you did it. I went through a 12-step program. That's how I did it. I don't care how somebody else did it. But if you used to struggle, you no longer do. That inspires hope, and that's what I'm about, because it's all about saving lives. It's not about comparing, this way is better than that way, and my recovery is better than yours. No, that's a huge trap we fall into. And speaking to the recovery community right now, we are the examples for other people trying to get sober. If they see that in us, they're not going to want that. So again, you got a story to tell? Reach out to me. I do have my schedule booked the whole rest of this month and some into April as well. What's up, Haley? But I'm super pumped about this one. You guys will see. Hey, Jill, my favorite sober scientist is here. All right. By the way, Jill just launched her website, guys. So go check her out. Sober.powered, I believe. Jill, she's there. And check out her podcast. You really want to learn about addiction, really, the science behind it, check her out. See, I learned about the spiritual side of addiction, but becoming a counselor and learning more through Jill's podcast. You see, the spiritual side and the medical side, they're saying the same thing. So we got to be telling the truth there, I think, yeah. So, but anyways, super pumped about this. Let's see. Wrong one. Let me get Blair up in here. There she is. Hope you guys are excited. Oh, there she is.
Hi.
What's up?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, good, man. As you can see, I gotta start calming down now. I get too excited with this stuff.
You're getting me pumped up. I'm like, yeah. I've got my.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hey, we're twins. All right.
Yeah, I had to. I'm in my basement in Minnesota, so it's warm today, but it's still a little chilly here. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate the support. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I know we were joking about that, because I asked you if you could wear it, but you're gonna wear it anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna wear it anyways. I was gonna surprise you. You ruined the surprise.
I know. Man. But I'm super excited, man, for today. I'm very enthusiastic. I get down a lot from people. The messages, they consist of that one. It's the common thread in messages I get from people.
Yeah.
But honestly, like my wife knows, I'm like this all the time in regards to recovery. See, if I'm just hanging out with family, I'm quiet. I don't say a whole lot.
Right.
But you start talking about recovery, boom! I just come to life.
Yeah. Your passion, right?
Yeah, anything recovery, anything sober, anything to do with drugs and alcohol, addiction, recovery, bam, I've been told that I got I got a gift for this thing, and but that doesn't mean it's always on. When it needs to be on, bam, I can turn it on. No problem.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad Jill is here too. My wife was she's saying hi to you. Where is she?
I recognize some people in here.
Yeah. You're gonna make me famous, man. Having you go live with me.
All right.
All right. Okay. I know there's a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about. I really want to get into it, but first, before we start, I wanted to ask you a few questions. Now, the first
Sure.
one is, how long have you been sober now?
So I quit drinking 3 years ago. I had my 3 years 2 weeks ago, I think. So just recently had 3 years.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And oh wait, you already said where you're from, so but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Rochester, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
The
and,
accent.
and what was your choice in drink? What do you like to drink?
Oh, I mean, depends on the stage of life, right? So
Oh,
like
gotcha.
right? So in high school it was like whatever we could get someone to buy us, and then it
Yeah.
was like college where it was like the cheapest beer you could find, because you're broke in college, and
Yeah.
or just the grossest stuff in college too, like just gross mixed cheap vodka.
Yeah.
And then when I got like to be a mom and stuff, it was like wine or mixed drinks and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I wasn't ever into taking shots. Like I very rarely took shots.
Yeah. Honestly, me either. Like I
Yeah.
never did. I would just
Yeah.
everybody would take a shot, and when
Mhm.
everybody's like this, I'll pour it into my drink.
Yeah.
So I pretend I took the shot
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just
Yeah, I just didn't
because it's
like that.
gross. Because it's
Yeah.
gross.
And
That's why.
I couldn't shotgun beers my whole like drinking career.
Oh,
I
I could
couldn't
do
do
that.
that.
I could do that.
Yeah, I couldn't. I could not guzzle beer. I couldn't. 20 years of
Or like
drinking, like I
yeah.
couldn't do it. I couldn't even drink with my food. Like it's either I'm drinking or I'm eating.
Yeah.
I kept it separate.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't really like that either. Not my thing.
Samesies. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shots were always bad. Bad time for Jill. Oh man. That's so funny. She's talking about one of her posts or something I read that I think it was a post about how she like has this anger thing, and like
Yeah.
man, I cannot imagine that. From her, she seems
No,
so nice and
I
gentle.
can't either. I can't either.
But anyways, okay, okay. So at this time,
Yeah.
I'll give you the floor to kind of enlighten us about basically your story and everything.
Enlighten. Okay. So I know I was like trying to go over in my head, like, where do I start and how long do I spend on each part of my life? So I guess growing up, I didn't have any, I had a good upbringing, good childhood, didn't have any like trauma or anything like that. I was spoiled and had everything that I ever needed and more. Kind of like your just average life, nothing crazy. And then started drinking a little bit in high school, like towards the end of high school. And not like a big partier, just kind of like a little here and there with my close friends. But I did have, now looking back, I did have some times where like I was like, okay, there were glimpses of the problem, I can think of specific times even from high school. So and then I went to college, and that's when I really hit it hard, like because we all did, like we all, as in the people that I lived around, I lived in this like apartment building where it was all the college kids. But it was apartments, so there were like 4 of us in each apartment, and like 4 apartments on each floor. So it was just a big party, like every day, whatever. But that's what we did, like it was weird if you didn't do that, I thought, like at that time.
Yeah.
So that was just a wild time, I guess. And then after that, like I have too many like stories that like we could sit here all day, right? Like we could sit here all day, and like that one time when this happened, and even into like my late 20s, still like working during the week and then go out on the weekends. And I had a job, like I worked with kids with disabilities, and so I had a job that I didn't like necessarily have to like get up and do the next day. It wasn't always like right away, sometimes it was like later in the day, so I could, even when it was early in the day, I would still go out the night before. But it wasn't like a 9 to 5 like every day, like always. This was like maybe when I was 25 or so, like that time frame. And so it wouldn't just be weekends, it'd be like Thursday and whatever reason Wednesday, like whatever you need, you know, whatever it is. Because there's every night there's a reason, right? So especially when you're in that. And I was living with friends, like it was just kind of that's what you did, right? So then I did get a DWI when I was 25.
Whoa,
didn't
you?
stop. Didn't.
What?
Yeah, I know. Didn't. 2 nights in jail. Don't recommend. Do not recommend that. I am not that there's like a type of person that should be in jail, but I do not fit in jail. Like I just don't fit in there. So that was, I just kept to myself, you know. But yeah, so that was, and at that point, I actually did lose that job that I had because we drove the clients around, so I couldn't drive anymore.
Oh.
So yeah, so but like that doesn't even stand out in my head as like a time where it was. I never like questioned like stopping drinking though. It was just like, oh, I got DWI too. Haha. Here's the funny story about when I went to jail. Like, or you know, like I got pulled over. My friend was driving and he was like, well, I'm too drunk to drive. And I was like, well, I'll drive.
Yeah.
I'll drive instead. So he pulled over and then I got in and drove and I got like around the corner, you know, and got pulled over. Like it wasn't even, yeah, I didn't even have them like give me tests or anything. I just said, just take me because I'm wasted, you know, so just take me in. But very honest of me. So yeah, so I think I don't remember how long I lost my license for, whatever it is here in Minnesota. I know that I think I stopped going to bars and stuff for like 3 months or so. I'm not really sure why. There was a reason for the 3 months mark, but anyways, I just kind of went back to doing my thing. You know, I was like on probation for a year, but that's just, I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't a really big deal to me, you know. So I just went back at it, and that's like kind of what we did. Like my friend group, we went out on the weekends or whenever we went out, whatever we did, it was like, what are we drinking? You know, let's drink before, let's drink during, like whatever. I just never really wanted the party to end though. Like on those nights, it was like, okay, now what are we gonna do after the bars close?
Yeah,
you know, or Sunday fun day, like, and it doesn't stop at like bingo. It goes into the night too, right. Like, you know, and then it's just a mess. So, just a lot of that kind of stuff when I was in my 20s, and then, and a lot of negative consequences, like losing, you know, a purse or, making bad decisions, and, lots of stories again that I can tell you. I'll hold off for now. But just like, I don't know. It seemed like average to me. That's the thing. Like, you know, it seemed average. Like that's what we did for fun. And so then I got married, had my son when I was 30. And I feel like when I started drinking again after I had my son, because I quit drinking while I was pregnant, but after I had my son, I just felt differently about it. Like I felt like I got drunk way faster, and I still would drink just as much, or try to anyways. I mean, try. But like, I feel like I never really have that like off switch where it's like, okay, you've had enough now, you should stop. It was just like, oh yeah, a glass is gone, or a beer is gone, or 2 beers are gone, or 3, you know, and it just never, there was no turning it off. Like, and I was never somebody who could moderate, or I never really chose to, I guess, because I just knew that it wasn't going to work. Like, what's the point? Like, you know?
Yeah, me too. I didn't even try to moderate. And then, because I knew I couldn't. Yeah, there was no moment of like, oh, I should really like try to chill out on this. It was, I mean, you know, my husband at some points would say, because we would argue, like if I got home from the bar, and he doesn't drink, by the way, that's a whole nother story. We talked about this. That's a whole nother story. I know. He's a saint. Yeah. So we've been together since we got together right before I got my DWI. So he was there for all of it. I mean, yeah. So we were together for maybe like 10 years-ish, something like that, married for 5. So I'm kind of going back and forth here, but that's how my brain works. Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, it's like all over the place. So So I got pregnant, had my son at 30. Still tried to kind of drink like how I did before. Always just got more drunk. And I guess like a lot of times it was me drinking at home then because like I had this responsibility. I had to, it was hard for me to kind of change into that like mother role where, to realize, I knew that I had this responsibility. I knew that I, had to care about someone other than myself. And I did. It was just like, I thought I could do that, but also still have like the old Blair, and so, my husband and I would get in arguments here and there, and he'd kind of make some stipulations where I like, okay, so if you're gonna go to so-and-so's house and drink, just stay overnight there. Like, don't come home because I don't want to talk to you, or whatever. I thought you were gonna say because just to be safe, but he just don't want to deal with you. Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I get it. It was obnoxious, or like repeat myself and just try to have a conversation when I get home at 2:00. Like, he doesn't want to do that. Who wants to, you know what I mean? So, so, and I would follow that sometimes, and then sometimes I wouldn't and whatever. And so, he was pretty lenient with me on a lot of things. I kind of wonder if he would have been more like harsh about it. Like, would I have stopped earlier? Like, kind of what would happen? But I know, as you know, you have to make the decision for yourself. Right. Like, you really have to be ready to decide, this is what I'm going to do. I mean, as much as your family would want you to stop or whatever, you have to know that you want to do it. So, and so then towards the end, I like I said, I would drink like, just at home. Like, even my husband would be away and I would be home alone with the baby. And then I would party time. Time to relax, like, right? Because you're a mom and like that's what you do. You have some wine, but then for me, it wasn't ever just like a glass of wine. It would be like a bottle of wine or like 2 bottles of wine, like in a sitting. And it's just like, whoa, so much. Now that I realize, so much. And
oh wait, and by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're like really tall, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm like 6 feet tall.
Yeah, I know. So, I just thought about that because of, you mentioned, drinking and girls typically, they're not 6 feet tall. So
no,
like,
typically not.
When, wine will just kind of hit a small, like body, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, and I'm not like I'm a pretty lanky 6 foot gal. Like, I'm not, do you know what lanky is? Like, I'm just
like,
kind
you
of
got
like
long limbs?
Yeah, I'm just long and thin and awkward. So like, so I don't have like a lot of meat to me. So there wasn't a lot of places for it to go, I guess. I don't know. So I did get pretty intoxicated, let's just say. But
right,
there's a lot of reasons for that, probably the amount of drinking too. But so anyways, like when I was like I said, just a lot of those nights where I would drink too much home with the kid, like I would wake up and, there's texts I don't remember sending, or Snapchat was the worst because it was like, you don't even know what you sent on Snapchat. Like, like, okay, what picture did I send to who? And you have no idea. Snapchat, it's gone. So that was the worst. Or just like, a lot of that stuff because I'm just sitting at home, home alone watching TV or whatever, drinking and thinking that I'm just like doing my mom life. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. But anyways, and then, again, I'm just drinking on weekends, really. I'm not like drinking during the week. I'm not waking up drinking. I'm just like, drinking on weekends, working all week, hungover, a few days, do it again every weekend. So it was just this cycle of like, hate my life Monday, Tuesday, and then I'm good by Wednesday. Okay, what are we doing on Friday? Like, it was just this cycle and it kept happening. And then there was one time, and I guess I just realized that this was the last night I drank. I just realized this like a couple weeks ago, that this night that I remember was the last night I drank. There was a night where and I haven't told anybody this, but there was a night where my husband came home and I had dropped a wine glass and I was like trying to pick it up. And so like my hands were like all kind of like cut up from picking up the wine glass. And I think I had knocked the baby gate over, or like I tripped or something. Like, I was a faller, so I like would fall a lot and like get bruises and stuff. Oh yeah. So that was the last night that I drank. And then I was really hungover the next day. Monday I still hungover, was reading a blog on Scary Mommy. I don't know if you know what that is. It's an online publication where people write blogs and posts and things like that. And it was about a mom who didn't drink. Okay, so I was like, what? That's a thing? Like, that's really like a real thing. Like, she actually just doesn't drink and like has a normal life. She doesn't like, she's not homeless. She doesn't live under a bridge. Like,
Right,
you know what
right,
I mean? Like, she's not in jail. Like, well, okay, I went to jail, but like, you know, like those like stereotypical things of like why people would quit drinking, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know that, I didn't know that that was like, and it boggles my mind now. It bogs my mind now to like think that I didn't know that, you know? And so I have to remember that. And like, we have to remember that like some people don't know that you can just like not drink or not do drugs. Well, drinking is a little bit more, I mean, it's legal, right? So like, it's a little bit more like whatever, but accepted. Yeah. So, yeah. So I actually just messaged that author on Facebook, super random, just put it out there like, hey, just read your, you know, blog post, and told her what happened 2 nights before and how I just like don't want to keep going on this cycle. And she messaged me back and we had a conversation, and she told me like, read this book, listen to this podcast, start a private Instagram. So I did all those things. I followed all of her rules, and I totally immersed myself in all things alcohol free. Like, I read all the memoirs, you know, and like all the things. So and I haven't turned back since. Like, that was the day, and yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of a weird ending story, but it's kind of, I kind of like it. It's
not
cool.
Actually, because like, I commend you for that, because let's say I'm you, and I read that, like, like me personally, that wouldn't have stopped me. I would have.
No, right? Yeah. You know? Oh, cool.
But yeah, like, oh, okay, that's good information. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going though. You know.
And I don't know what that day was. I mean, like, I had a lot of those days where I was hungover on a Monday at work, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It was just like, wow, this is, I don't know. I was feeling pretty bad about myself. So, I was like, I'm a failure, you know, to like, why do I keep doing this?
Right.
That kind of thing. Like, like, why can't I just stop? But yeah.
Did the drinking, did it start to affect your mental health at all?
So I've never really had to struggle with like depression or anxiety. I know a lot of people say that was part of their struggle too. But I feel like even towards the end, I definitely had like some like, again, just like regret from every time. And like, you know, why did I drink too much? And like, my family doesn't deserve me, like that, you know, I wasn't gonna do anything drastic. I just kind of felt like, I don't know what the word is. I mean,
like, you didn't want to keep going to get to that point, you know.
But then it would go away after a couple days, and then I would do it again. You know what I mean? So like, I don't really know. Yeah. And I work in psychology, so like, I know what the signs and symptoms are of things. So like, but even then I wasn't like, oh, this is really affecting you, like, you should stop, you know? So, yeah. And I say, even now that I've quit drinking, I'm dealing more with like anxious feelings from time to time when I get a lot of stress. But I think that before, I never had to deal with that because there wasn't even a time to do that. I mean, it was drinking and out partying and hanging out and whatever. So yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm glad I got to hear your whole little story. I know we talked yesterday a little bit, but it's good to know, you know, and you know, like, I mentioned this in every time I go live, and we talked a little bit about yesterday, and you know how I told you're not the first person to tell me this, you know, but like, some people's story is like, man, I became homeless, I got divorced, I lost my kids, I was
yeah,
like, see, there's this like misconception of like an alcoholic or a drug addict, like they fit the bill, like, okay, you got to be homeless, you cannot have a job, like, you know what I mean,
right?
Like,
yeah,
you have to lose everything. But that's,
I mean, technically I lost the job, technically, I guess, but like, even like, I don't even think of it like that. It's like, oh, okay, cool, and then I went and sold shoes, you know, at the store. Like, I got another job. It wasn't like life changing, you know.
Right. You know, but it's so cool and interesting, because like, for me, like, doing these live shows, like I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter how somebody got sober or living an alcohol-free life, or they stopped doing drugs.
Yeah.
I don't care, because anybody out there could be struggling. See, one thing I got sober in 12-step program. So the culture in it is total abstinence, which for me, I needed that. There was
Yeah.
no way I could like implement harm reduction or I couldn't. I mean, my life was so unmanageable. I could not
Yeah.
moderate. I couldn't from the beginning. I
No.
couldn't moderate from the beginning.
Did you ever try though? You didn't really try, but I mean, you just knew you couldn't, because I knew like there was no chance.
A lot of the times I would just tell myself, okay, bro, you're not gonna just drink this much, just do this much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never attempted it though.
Yeah, right. The thought was there. It's a good thinking, but
yeah, because you know why? Like I knew inside of me there's no way I could do it, so I didn't even attempt, because even more so, I'll go into a more of a depression, like thinking, man, I tried and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So I didn't even try. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so interesting to hear other people's stories, and because I found out there is not just one path to like recovery or living an alcohol-free life. There is many paths, but however, we kind of, we can do this deal where, I start comparing what I did, my recovery, to everybody else's. And if you're not doing it, then you're doing it wrong. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like the first year and a half, 2 years sober, I used to think like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not blaming anybody, but that's just the culture in the 12-step program. I'm not saying that's wrong or whatever, but for me, I stopped doing that because it wasn't adding to me. It wasn't benefiting me at all. It actually started to take value away from my recovery, being an example, because other people who trying to get sober see me doing that, like, I don't even want to get sober. Look at this guy. I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of there's guys too, but like I hear from a lot of women and mothers who are literally like me, they just like read books and stuff and heard my story in their words, like I'll post something or say something and people are like, whoa, you just literally wrote my story out there. Yeah. How did you do it? And so that's why I say, like, this is what I did. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You have a different brain than I do. Like my brain works one way, your brain works the other, So, I'm totally about like, I think it's nice that there's so many different ways. Because I'm not an AA person, but I just bought a book like Mindfulness and the 12 Steps. It's called this book that I'm reading that my friend suggested to me. So like, I like taking from little, parts of different things and just putting it all together and learning what I can learn, I guess, so like we can all learn from each other. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
And Beth Bowen, you follow her?
Yeah.
So I remember I went live with her a while back.
Yeah, I saw that.
After, I know, you see all of them. I know, you're always there. I always see you. But now you're here now,
Now I'm here.
I know. But after, like, that show, it was because of that show, I never, ever had this thought. I thought, wow, after doing the, interview with her, the show, I thought to myself, wow, you do not have to be an alcoholic in order to get sober. Right. That thought never, ever crossed my mind, ever. Because I already deal in my field and in my 12-step program, we're already full-blown alcoholics, addicts already. We don't really think about, we crossed that line, us already. So we're not really, I'm not really thinking about, because, there's a chance you can possibly save somebody's life before their life is really threatened of all this calamity and everything.
Yeah.
And I know you also host for 1,000 Hours Drive. Parents on Wednesdays. Drive, like gazillions of them,
there's like 8 of them, I think, or something like that. Yeah, on Wednesdays I host that on that page.
Right. And I started following, I think like long time ago, I started following Kevin, and then from him I found tons of other 1,000 Hours Drive, and I was like, I don't even know what the heck was going on. I was like, man, these people are sober, so I'm start following them.
Yeah.
And but then I started to learn what it's like 1,000 Hours Drive is what, 41 days or something?
Like 42, yeah.
Oh, 42? 42 days and the chat. I mean, I was like, man, that's a good eye opener and door opener for somebody to stop drinking alcohol.
Right.
Because let's say you're not an alcoholic. What I learned in school about the biological makeup of the human body, alcohol, like if you put this is what I learned a couple years ago in class. So if you put alcohol and every single drug on the planet, like on paper, side by side,
Yeah.
alcohol blows everything out of the water. Like
Right.
you can't compete with alcohol, and it's
No.
legal, it's socially
Right.
accepted,
And it's
but it's terrible.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's
And you do
terrible
it
for
for
us.
everything. I was intoxicated at my son's first birthday party. Like, I mean, I wasn't like falling down, but like I had a buzz. I made sure I had, whatever they're called, those Truly or the little like the seltzers, and those were
Yeah,
nice because you could drink a ton of those. You could drink a
yeah,
ton of those because so yeah. And then that was like not weird. That was not weird for me to be walking around drinking at my
yeah.
son's birthday party. Like this is normal stuff. Like, and so, and like you said, like you don't have to be like an alcoholic or
Hmm.
you don't even have to have like a DWI or like a really bad, big
Right.
negative consequence. You could just like, hey, I don't like waking up feeling like crap after
Hmm.
I drink.
Yeah,
I'm going to try not doing it for a little bit or,
yeah,
so, and like you said, I mean, it's legal and everything. There's people out there that have a drink with dinner and then they're done, and
right.
they could take or leave it. Not one of those people.
Yeah, me
So,
either.
right, like, don't understand. No, still don't understand how people can just
Like in
have a
restaurants
couple.
and stuff, when people leave
Or
their
you like
wine or their
just,
beer,
oh
like
yeah,
that much left, I'm like,
yeah,
that's alcohol abuse. Like, drink it,
right.
you know?
Drink it. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Gosh.
yeah, but
I like to laugh about it now. It's fine, but
yeah,
you know.
yeah. But that's just so. I think people who are like nowhere near that line are in danger of like becoming an alcoholic. If people just
Hmm.
took the time to just like it doesn't take a whole lot of time, just educate yourself a little bit
Right,
on how alcohol affects your body, your brain,
right.
everything.
Hmm.
Alcohol will definitely, well, not drinking alcohol will guarantee prolong your life.
Right.
100%. It will guarantee if you just
Yeah,
drink. You don't have to have
right.
a problem at all. You just don't
Hmm.
drink, it'll prolong your life, So
Yeah. And
um
we're so used to saying like, oh geez, I'm having some like stomach issues. Like maybe I'll cut out dairy or like maybe I'll cut out, you know what I mean? Like maybe I'll cut out like sugar for a little bit. It's like maybe just don't drink for a little bit and see if you
yeah.
feel a little better. Like not saying that that's the problem every time, but like no one ever thinks like
Right.
maybe alcohol, like, maybe this poison that I'm putting into my body is doing
Yeah,
something or
I
making my
know.
anxiety worse or, people drink all the time on medications they shouldn't be drinking on,
Right.
but we don't think anything of it. Like it's just
Uh-huh.
crazy. So I think, but doing lives like this and sharing and stuff and is really
Yeah.
hopefully getting the ball rolling on letting people who don't have an issue or have problem behaviors, letting them know like, oh wow, there are people out there that are normal and whatever, so
Yeah, yeah. Like I should do another live show with Jill, just totally
yeah.
dedicated on alcohol affecting the human body, because she
Yeah,
talks
right.
about
Well, you
the
wouldn't have
market.
to, would you have time to do that? It would be so long.
I know. We have to start charging people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. So now this kind of gives us a segue into
Yes.
my favorite topic of this whole show that we might just spend the rest of the time talking about.
Yeah.
We can get through everything. Is okay. Sobriety activist. How did all
Right.
that come about? I don't want to give away what we're going to talk about. I'll let you do it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
But okay, so let's talk
Okay.
about how it was born.
How it was
Yeah.
born. My child. Okay. So in December of last year, there was this Tropicana campaign, the Tropicana orange juice. There was a campaign that came out, and basically it was promoting their orange juice. They were trying to sell it to parents who were like overworked and stressed and just needed a little time to themselves, right? So what they did was they pushed making mimosas with their orange juice. And so they said the hashtag was take a mim moment,
Yeah.
I
remember.
And then they had celebrities who were doing these videos and putting them out on like social media. I think it was just, I don't know if it was just Instagram, that's where I saw it, but it was like Molly Sims, Gabrielle Union,
Uh-huh.
Charlie
Jerry
O'Connell,
Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell,
Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell. I don't know if there's anybody else, but anyways, so they would do these videos, and like Molly Sims was the one that I saw first. And so here she is, she's in her closet with this mini fridge that Tropicana sent her. and she opens it up and it's got all the mixings for a mimosa. So she could have a moment away from her kids. And she was drinking it, like hiding, literally she's in her closet drinking alcohol, hiding from her children. And she says in the video, this makes me a good mom, the best mom. Yeah. And I literally felt sick to my stomach when I watched that. Like, I gotta get chills right now talking about it, because it makes me like ill to think about. Oh, that she, like, that is like so bad. It's so cringeworthy that she, you know, did that. So the sober mom squad,
they jumped on that.
Yeah, those ladies jumped on it, and I followed a few of them on my personal page that I have, my other Instagram, my regular one. And so I started like posting about it too. And like, we were all commenting on the Tropicana posts and like how bad it was. And the whole sober Instagram community just like went in on Tropicana like hard.
Yes.
And I was like screenshotting it and sharing it on my personal Facebook, like, look at how bad this is. And then like people that I'm friends with in real life were, you know, saying, oh my gosh, that's really bad. And so they were agreeing that it was that bad. And then, so, then the Tropicana company took it down like a day, and they issued an apology first.
Yes, and actually, you know what? I have it right in front of me. That I'm gonna read it.
Read it now.
Because it's like the one I saw first was Gabrielle Union. You know, she like come to her bathroom.
Yes.
Like, and then she got her little secret like incognito mini fridge.
Yes.
You know, and another thing, like people, they're actors. Like we don't need to bash them. You know what I mean? Like people started bashing, you know, the actors and stuff. You know, it's like like even me as a parent, being sober, that was like, I mean, come on, like Tropicana, like use your heads, man. So anyway, it was such a big deal. I mean, I seen, the Sober Mom Squad girls, so the ladies, they jumped all over it.
Yeah.
Like for days, all of their posts, their stories. That's all it was about. And it was a really big deal. So I'm going to read, this is Tropicana's apology. It says, we want to apologize to anyone who is disappointed in or offended by our recent campaign. The intent behind it was in no way meant to imply that alcohol is the answer or make light of the struggle of addiction. Well, you guys sure made it seem that way. Honestly, that's exactly how it went. And it says, while we believe we were bringing a moment program to life in the right way, though the message of positivity and balance mixed with a bit of levity, we hear the feedback, they heard the feedback, that for some, you know, they heard the feedback. Accordingly, we've ceased any further activity in support of the campaign. We value the comments. I'm sure they got millions of them, and perspectives that have been shared, and we'll use it as a lens for evaluating future campaigns. See, I don't know why they never thought of making a commercial with celebrities bringing orange juice to hospitals to patients that have COVID or something. Right. Like, come on, they probably would have made more money doing that.
Exactly. You know? So they posted that, and then they didn't take it down though. They just like didn't promote it anymore. So so like I kind of felt like, cool, like that's great that you wrote this for us, but like take it down, you know? Right. Or like I think another time they said like, for some, we may have missed the mark. Or I'm like, no, you did miss the mark. You didn't miss the mark. Like, don't do that. Just don't. So I think it was like about a day and a half maybe. And then they took it down, or a couple days later, they actually like removed it.
Right.
And then the celebrities all removed it from their pages too. I know that the New York Post, so this is the story, the New York Post picked it up, and wrote an article about it. And this was before, I don't know if it was before the response or not, but so they picked it up, and in the New York Post, the writer said, sobriety activists were gobsmacked when they heard that blah blah blah, you know. And I was like, oh, sobriety activists, that's what I am. I was like, I'm a sobriety activist. And so like light bulb moment, and like went on Instagram and like got the sobriety activist handle, you know. and I didn't know what I was going to do with it at first. You know, I had my own private alcohol-free Instagram account from 3 years ago that I don't ever go on now. It's just something I used in the beginning. And then I have my own personal Instagram where I post like stuff in my city, and I write for this blog in my city. So I post a lot there and events and whatever. And so, and like I said, so I write for this blog in my city, but it's not a place where I would just continuously write about being alcohol free. Like that would, I mean, I wouldn't do that there. I've written a couple, but it's just not a place for that. So I started to blog on Instagram instead, like just short, you know, with posts and whatever. And it's kind of just blown up. So, it's kind of cool. I enjoy, and I feel like it's kind of come full circle, you know, where I'm now the one giving other people advice and helping people who were in my position 3 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it was so cool when you posted that, and like, you know, where did it come from? I forgot exactly what the post was. Yeah. It was so cool to learn, you know, that, you know, like, I mean, there's such a disappointment. Whoever created this campaign for Tropicana, they guaranteed got fired. You know?
Yeah, right.
You know, they cost the company millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, but honestly, it's the leadership of the company. Like, come on, like the higher ups got to know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it wouldn't even. I don't even think it would have been as bad if it wasn't parents trying to get away from their kids. Like, you need a break from your kids. Hiding in it, like
isolate in the closet.
Yeah, and then did you say Jerry O'Connell? Sorry, I'm getting the O'Connell. There's brothers, right? He was like in his garage, so he had a hidden incognito fridge that a Tropicana sent him. You know, and then it was like comment where you would take a moment. I think they said too, like comment where you would take a moment for a chance to win your own mini incognito fridge. So like they were gonna like send these out, I think. But yeah, so it was just bad all around.
Yeah, I know. That was just, you know, they're so disappointing, you know, for them, you know. But that's okay. You know, life goes on, you know. We all, you know.
There'll be another one. There'll be another company to do something stupid like that, and we'll jump on them again. So I know. Bring it, people.
Yeah.
You don't mess with the recovery community online.
No, you know.
You don't.
You know. I mean, there'll be more sobriety activists being born because of these things.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, what time? Okay, as we're kind of winding down now.
Sure.
Okay, Blair, I'm gonna start asking you some questions now.
Sure.
So, the first question is, what's something you learned about yourself in the? Oh wait, sorry, wrong person.
Probably a good question. Question.
Okay, what's the best part about being alcohol free?
There's a lot, right?
I know.
How about everything? Is that one thing I can say? Everything. I just feel like there's so much. I mean, you can go through like, oh, sleep better, I have better skin, like all those things, right? But like those like things you see, but I just feel like it's so nice to not have to think about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to think about like what I'm drinking on Friday night, or like worry about if I'm gonna drink too much, and then like what the next day is gonna be like. I don't have to think about what did I say. It's just like all those thoughts that came with the drinking is the fact that I don't even have to do that. I mean, my brain is filled with other thoughts now. So like, you know, like so many thoughts, but like those thoughts, those alcohol related ones are all gone. So I think that's just like great. And then I just get to like be the best person. So I have several good things, but like I get to be the best person for, you know, my son and my husband, and so I think just being a good person.
Right.
You know.
Definitely, yeah. You know, because you can make different decisions when your mind is not altered, you know, from alcohol.
Right.
Alrighty. So the next question is, how do you think being a non-drinker affects your parenting? Ooh.
Yeah. So I kind of feel happy that my son will never see, he was 18 months old when I quit, so he'll never know who I was before, you know? And I'm just happy, and I'm not saying this to like down or diss anybody that does drink, but I'm just happy that he won't ever see me like, using something like that to get away kind of, or relax, or like, oh, I need a drink. Yeah. To cope, or, you know, like after a long day, like I need, you know, that. So
I need to unwind with the whole box of wine, you know?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. A
Yeah.
jug, the big jugs
Yeah,
in
I used to
college.
drink that, you
Yeah.
know, I used to drink that, the box wine, because it was so
Yeah.
cheap. And then,
Yeah.
and then the next day I'll always wake up to like my heart beating in my head,
Oh,
you know, and it would
so
last the
bad.
whole day. Nothing
So
cured that
bad.
one. Food, nothing.
Yeah.
Sleep, nothing.
No,
Yeah.
just time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just time. Yeah.
Oh, so bad. Yeah. And also like, it's nice to not ever have a hangover and have to parent. Like that is literally, I don't know how people do that. Like that is so hard because all you want to do is take a nap or go back to bed. Like you don't want to have anything to do with your kid the next day. I mean, I love them to death, but like you just want to like lay and try to not like throw up everywhere or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like you just want to like, so what was that the question? Did I answer the question? I don't know. I kind of went, I go on
Yes, yeah,
kind of ramble.
Yeah.
I just ramble.
But this next one is
Yeah.
kind of a little bit touched on a little bit, but the next question is, so how do you manage stress without alcohol?
Not very well. I'm working on it. That's like, yeah, that's totally what I'm working on right now, because if I get like more than one stressor, I like get really overwhelmed, and it's like a couple things can stress me out, and then like every little thing is like really irritating and stressful for me. So I try to recognize it when I'm getting that way, and do my best to take a break and, you know, take some deep breaths, or like at the end of the day, if I've had a long day, I will like take a bath and relax or whatever, or go to bed early, or, you know, just try to anything but drinking, right?
Right, yeah. Was
So,
it
yeah.
like, it seems like it's like no problem today, but when you first started or first stopped drinking, was it
Oh,
harder? Did you find it harder to like, instead of coping like with alcohol, to go sleep early or hang out with your
yeah.
husband or watch a movie or something?
You know, and I'm not, this is gonna sound like, oh, I'm so perfect, but it like really wasn't a problem to me. Like when I first quit, so I read the book This Naked Mind, and I don't know if you've read
Yeah.
that. Have you read that?
I
Okay.
did. I never read it yet though.
What? You must. You need, when we get down here, you need to start reading it tonight. Cancel your other life, just start reading.
Yeah.
But no, so that book literally changed my brain, like the way I thought about it. Like,
Okay.
so I made it just like a non-issue, like, or like a non-option, like there's no option to drink. Like in no situation will I drink. So that was like, once I made that change in my brain, like there was no like going back, you know, or like, and like the stress, I guess I didn't really have like a lot of triggers or anything. Like if there was an event that was like a drinking event, I just wouldn't go, you know, or like I didn't go to a bachelorette party in Vegas because
Yeah.
like for obvious reasons.
Right.
I decided that actually before I quit drinking, I was like, no, I'll probably die, or like in a jail, or like somewhere in, you know, if I'm going to a bachelorette party with my friends in Vegas, no way.
Yeah.
So I actually decided that before I quit drinking. So maybe there was some sort of inkling there, you know, so.
Yeah. I mean,
but
you
yeah.
said something that was very important. And I think for us, or people that are, you know, they're trying to stop drinking, trying to get sober, stay sober, get off drugs, is that, you know, you said you read this book and then you made a decision. You decided. It's a decision. It wasn't a resolution. Like I made a lot of firm resolutions on never doing this again.
Yeah.
Words like decide, homicide, suicide, like that means there's no coming back from it. Once you make the decision, that's what happened for me actually. Once I actually made the decision, not like to go seek help and try to, you know, I wasn't certain I was gonna stay sober at all, nothing at all.
Yeah.
I was like, I barely made it into the rooms, but I made a decision to do and give it my all. Like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do everything. I was like, you just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Basically, that's kind of the attitude I had, because I was you know, dying, man, and I was like, oh, I don't want to keep dying, you know. So
and some people will say like, did you so do you think you're going to drink again? Or like, do you think you're like, is this just I'm like, no, never drinking again. Like, why would I do that? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing so great about it that it's going to make me want to do it again. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I had good times. I had good times, but like the bad that could come from it definitely outweighs the good that it brings.
Me too. Same.
Yeah. Like, right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Next question. Okay. This is a good one. So, how has your marriage changed since you quit drinking?
Oh, I bet he's just so happy with me. Like, I can't imagine. Like, I was just so obnoxious. Oh, and like just repeat myself, you know, and like just be annoying and pick stupid fights. Like, now I just know how to pick your battles. You know what I mean? So, it's good. It's so much. It wasn't bad before. Like, we were never like constant fighters or anything like that. But it's just so much easier now. Like, there's not that big thing that, you know, I'm sure it's like, oh, Blair's having drinks tonight. Who knows what could happen? You know,
Right.
That's not even a factor. So yeah, it's just, I'm a little bit more, I would say, he would laugh if I said I'm easygoing, but like, I'm not, but I am sometimes. Depends on what it is. But yeah, it's so much easier. We don't argue about anything, or we do. It's just a little argument and then it's over, you know? So it's not stupid arguments about where you're putting your shoes, or, I mean, there are those still, but you know.
But it's not alcohol related.
It's not alcohol related. Yeah, right. So, yeah.
That's cool, man. Like, I mean, because for your husband, like, to kind of you guys been together 10 years, married for 5, and he stuck by you the entire time. And I mean, see, no woman did that with me.
Yeah.
You know, so like, man, my hat is off, man. Like,
yeah.
You know, like we gotta go live again and add him in this next time.
I know, right? Yeah, we should.
Know? Yeah. Okay. So, next question. Let's see. Okay, what do you do now in situations you normally wouldn't drink alcohol?
Yeah. So let's say it's like a party or something. I just always have like a drink of my own, you know, like, just I bring a beverage. Well, we always would bring, like, you know, everybody brings their own beer or whatever to a picnic or something, like barbecue or whatever. So I would just bring my own, and then I just love that I get to just go home and go to bed whenever I want. Like, not that I was forced to stay, but I always wanted to stay and like keep the party going. But now I'm like, oh, okay, you guys are getting a little annoying. I'm leaving, you know, like.
Yeah, right. I'm out.
And I'll tell my friend, Ashley, there's Ashley, my friend. She's one of my really good friends. So, like, you know, drunk people are annoying. I was an annoying drunk person. So, when it gets to that point, sometimes I'll just leave then, you know. It's like I get to make the decision when I get to go home versus having to stay, like, feel like I have to stay, you know, and keep the party going. So,
right.
But I don't feel like pressured from anybody. Like, my friends are really good about it. They've never pressured me. They kind of like maybe didn't understand it at first. I mean, they probably understood, like, okay, that makes sense. Like, maybe it's a good idea, right? But like, they weren't like questioning it or like, oh, are you sure? Like, they were just like, yeah, sure, go ahead, whatever, you know. So, and I think some of them may have looked at their own drinking and been like, oh, okay, maybe I could chill out a little bit more or whatever. So, but I'm not there to pressure them into drinking for every event now either.
Yeah.
So maybe there's that piece to it.
And then, so before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you, what's your take on mocktails or non-alcoholic beer?
So I never drank for the taste. Right? I drink for the buzz. Like, so, and it was never like, oh, I need a wine with my lasagna, spaghetti. Like, no, just whatever, you know? So I'll drink a mocktail, but like, I'm just like, I'll just drink water. Like, I'm not a big, I'd rather just like save money when I'm out and just order water, you know? And I'm not really like, I don't like the taste of beer. I've tried the NA beer before, and it's like, I drank it once. I'm like, why am I drinking this? Like, that's just me, right? If it's like, I'm not getting this like feeling from it, then it's like I'm not interested. So, Yeah, I mean, I just posted, and I posted a mocktail reel today that I made at my friend's last weekend. We were celebrating my 3 years alcohol free. So like she had all this mocktail stuff out. So that was fun. Like I'll do that. It's just like, that's not what I'm doing on Friday night, every Friday night. Like, you know,
Right.
yeah. So I have nothing against
like,
it. It's just not my go-to.
yeah, I'm the same way. Like I never in my life drank alcohol because I like the taste of it. I
Yeah.
literally never ever enjoyed the taste of hard liquor or
Yeah.
beer or
Yeah.
IPAs, or wine and anything. I just
Yep.
love the effect that it produced for me. That's what I
Right.
like, you know.
Yep.
So like my take on that is I believe like non-alcoholic beer is for like non-alcoholics, you know, like my thing. But if people drink them, whatever, that's cool. I
Right.
just like it's like no point. There's no point in me doing it
Yeah.
anyway. I'm not gonna get drunk,
Right.
you know. I'm like,
No.
and I don't like the taste of it. So I'm like,
No, exactly. Yeah. Like
yeah,
I would have like, there would be beer that I would like the taste of, like pretzel beer or like pumpkin beer. And it's like, that was just a
I've
bonus.
never even heard of this. How long have you
What?
been sober? How long
Is
has it
this
been
Minnesota? Is this like the Midwest maybe? Like pretzel beer. So like in the fall, pumpkin beer comes out.
I never
You
heard
know,
of
like
it in my
pumpkin
life.
spice
Yeah,
coffee at Starbucks, like that kind of stuff. So yeah. And so like that was good. I liked that, but that was just like a bonus then, right? It was like, because
right,
I still get the buzz and oh yeah, this, I actually like the flavor of this, you know? So
yeah. It's
um
like I want
yeah,
to
I
get
guess,
a little drunk, but I want some pumpkin pie too.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay. The last thing I'll ask you before we
Yeah.
wrap it up is what's something that you could say, a little bit of advice or encouragement to somebody that is watching this, that maybe they want to try to, you know, they're sober curious or they're
Hmm.
full blown alcoholics and they want to stop.
Yeah. I just feel like I wish people would realize that their lives can be better, you know, like
Right.
some people you get in this like kind of rut and you just think, okay, my life sucks. Like I keep doing this thing that's, and maybe you don't even recognize that you're doing the thing that's making your life suck, you
Right.
know, but you can always change something about yourself and just get better and your life you can be happy. Like everyone can be happy. It's possible, but you have to work for it. I mean, it's not just going to happen. You have to either remove the dairy or remove the, you know, the
Yeah.
alcohol,
Yeah.
whatever it is that's making your life miserable. And you can, I mean, I think, being open to like reach out if you do need a help with anything. I have some people like, hey, can you hold me accountable tonight? And I said, yeah, text me when you're having a craving or whatever, and I'll just talk to you during that time. So I think just reaching out to the community or just following different accounts is really helpful.
Yep.
And also like if you're somebody who's dependent physically on alcohol, like talk to your doctor.
Right.
Don't just quit cold turkey if you're an everyday, you know, all day drinker. Like you need to talk to your doctor because that's really dangerous. You could die
Right.
from that. But it's just possible to be happy, I think is a big, you know.
Definitely. You
Yeah.
know, that last one about, you know, if somebody's physically dependent on it, you definitely have to go to
Right.
detox, because if you don't detox properly, it will kill you.
Yes.
Alcohol is the only
Like
drug
actually death. Yeah.
that will kill you if you don't detox properly. You know,
Right.
like awareness, you talked about that, being aware.
Mm-hmm.
Like I believe education, knowledge brings
Mm-hmm.
awareness. See, once we
Right.
become aware of something, then we can identify it and kind of like figure out which direction we're going to go, what we're going to do. Of course,
Yeah.
people, you know, they got to have a desire, they got to become like willing, and they got to want it. They got to want it. Like nobody,
Right.
you cannot argue somebody into getting sober. It's not going to happen. You know,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
it'll backfire.
Yeah. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, but hey, man, this has been so much fun. I can't believe
I know.
already. That is
I
crazy.
know. It goes so fast.
I know, bummer. But like, man, Instagram. If you guys ever see this Instagram, like, you guys got to start making more people can go on these lives, man. Like Zoom.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
I wish that could be the case. I mean, we could do it through Zoom, but then it would just be a video, it won't be live.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know. Maybe that'd be better, so we can edit some stuff. You know.
Yeah. No, we need unedited.
Yeah. But thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here. It's been
Yeah,
great.
thanks for having me.
I was really looking forward to this, man. So thank you.
I know, me too. I'm excited. I've been excited all week.
We'll do it again, though. Trust me. We'll
Yeah.
go around and we'll, you know, do this again. I'm really
I'm down. Yep.
for this and everything. And thank you so much for sharing everything you did. You know, it's great. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much again for being here.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Okay, guys, so that was Blair. Now, today I'm going live twice. That was the first live. The next live is coming up in 2 hours, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I get my man Chris. He's out there in Hawaii, actually. He's living on Oahu now. He's originally from California, but he's living on Oahu. And he will be here with me in a couple hours sharing his story of basically how he went from the problem of drug and alcohol addiction to the solution of getting sober, being in recovery. Because we got a saying in the recovery community. It goes like this. We do recover, and that's true, we do. But we do recover because we do the work, period. So we see you guys in 2 hours.